it's Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner. It is the beginning of March, the 3rd or the 4th, I'm not quite positive. And I am here to finally update you. And I'm going to start with life news first because it'll explain why I've been gone for so long. So first of all, unrelated to why I've been gone for so long, we have little Miss Gracie here. And maybe you can tell she is pregnant with her 3rd litter. Yes, she is. We had planned on doing a 3rd litter. And we were even kind of ambiguous about it being immediately this soon because the opinions seem to go both ways about whether it's better to do them one right after the other, the litters, and then get her fixed so that she's fixed as young as possible and there's less chance of cancer, which we do not want for little Miss Gracie. So, but then some other people think that you should wait a little bit longer between litters. So we are only doing 3, maybe a 4th, but probably not. So probably only 3 litters with Miss Grace. And then, yeah, we'll get her fixed. So yes, this litter is probably due in about 2 weeks, but that has nothing to do with why I've been gone. But Gracie has been acting so much more like herself this pregnancy than previous ones. She is playful. She loves the sun or the darkness. It is one or the other, not an in-between. So she will either find the tiny bit of sunlight and just bask in it, or she will find the darkest corner and hide. Isn't that right, Gracie? Oh, yes. She is ferociously addicted to meat, and she will try to snap your fingers off as she gets that bite. Yes. But other than that, she plays with the other ones still. She isn't acting mopey or anything, which she was really lethargic in the last 2 pregnancies, which is why we were not you can safely do 3 to 4 pregnancies with a dog. So yeah, and I just really like the whole process, the whole creation of new life, watching them grow, finding a good home for them, and yeah, I know it goes against what a lot of people believe, adopt, don't shop, and I get that. I do, however, think that that it's okay to shop if you can't. Like, we looked for a while, we tried real hard to adopt, and we weren't able to find anything. All of the shelters around us we were looking for a young dog that was going to stay small. Because I have a fear of big dogs. Like, I am scared of big dogs, really scared of them. I got bit by one, so I have just remained afraid of them. And so we were looking for a puppy who was small and was going to stay small. And we couldn't find one, and so eventually we did buy Gracie. So, and I think for some family situations, that's the best for that family, and I don't feel like it's right to shame people for that. As long as you're going through someone who is reputable, who isn't abusing their dog, who loves their dog, because in case you haven't been watching my channel, I love my dogs. I mean, we have the entire 1st litter still because I loved them. I stay in contact with all but one of the owners who got from our last litter, and that's because it was a contact of my husband, so I never even had their contact information, but I still routinely text and get picture updates of all of our other little puppies who are in their new forever homes, and we told them, you know, if you're ever not able to have them, we'll take them back. So I get not wanting to shop so you avoid the situations where people are abusing animals. Our own little Georgie boy came to us from a puppy mill situation, and he had parvo, and we almost lost him. So I really do get that, but yeah. I don't know why I feel like I have to justify my decision for us to have puppies, but people are mean out there on the internet, and I have read a lot of mean comments, and I just really don't want to deal with them. So that's my little spiel. Gracie has curled into a ball and is asleep here on my lap, but I'm gonna have to put you down, baby. She is very extra cuddly at the moment. She'll fall asleep while I hold her, or on top of my husband's head. Like she'll like curl around his head, because he sleeps with a heating pad because he has spinal stenosis, so it helps with the pain in his back. And so she will curl around his head where the heating pad is. She loves heating pads. Yeah. So, oh, she's a sweet little girl, aren't you? Okay, I'm gonna put you down now, baby. Okay, so now the life update, which is the reason why I have been gone for so long. At the beginning of February, I had pulled everything out and was sitting down to film my update when I got a call from my grandfather that my uncle, my mom's youngest brother, had unexpectedly passed away during the night. So we immediately packed our bags and went down to Fresno to be with him. We were there about 4 days, I think. Then when I had to call and tell my mom, my sisters, it was very difficult. And even though I spent most of the time there just sitting with my grandpa, I was not in a headspace where I could really craft. So I didn't. And then we came back home, and my parents were coming to America. They live in Singapore. And my mom and dad were going to stop here for a day. So then I spent the next 2 days cleaning our house, getting this room ready for them to stay in. We have an air mattress that we blow up whenever we have guests. It's one of the extra high ones. And yeah, that's just the easiest thing for us because we seldom have guests. So to dedicate a whole room to guests when we hardly have guests is just kind of not properly using space, in my opinion. My husband would probably prefer we had a guest room, but I want a craft room and he wants an office, so neither of us were quite willing to give up the room. Anyways, I told him I'd give up a craft room if when we have a baby. That's my compromise. But anyways, so yeah, so my mom and dad came here for a day before going down to Fresno where my grandpa lives. And I guess I did craft after that. I did mainly crochet, I think, but not a ton. And then a week and a day ago, we went back down to Fresno, and exactly a week ago, we had the funeral service for my uncle, and I'm not gonna lie, I lost it. It hit me pretty hard. It wasn't real until I was there in the funeral home, and yeah, so then we came back up here Monday night and immediately went to bed. So it's been Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and now today's Friday. I started a new cross stitch on Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't remember which. To be honest, those days have run together. And that's all I've worked on while being here. And I've only got like 950 stitches in, so not even a huge ton. Sorry, messages from one of my favorite yarn sellers just popped up onto my thing. It's about the Harry Potter Yarn Club. But anyway, so that's where I've been and why I haven't updated. I took, like, when I was gonna film a month ago, I prepared massive amounts of notes. And this was gonna be about 3 videos worth. I'm going to probably just do 2 videos. I'm gonna do all crafts in this one, and then I'm gonna film a whip go one separately. So this one's gonna be long. I apologize. I don't want to do too much editing, but once you start editing, like, it's kind of like, oh, well, whatever. So, we'll see if I can get away actually with not editing, because when I put it into the editing program, it has to then re-upload the whole video, which then makes it take at least double the amount of storage, and usually more, onto my phone, because it has to have all of the video. No, I have to, I'm explaining this, but no, I have to edit it, because I have a clip from the cross stitch I have downstairs that I have to slip in. So never mind, ignore all that. I will make it work somehow. Usually when they're long, my phone tells me that I don't have enough storage, even though it clearly has enough storage. Like, I look at the amount of free storage, and it's like I'm only using 1/4 of the storage on my phone, and yet somehow it doesn't have room to export this video. It's really annoying. Anyways, so let's get started. There is a ton here because it's about 2 months worth of stuff, and I have a ton of stuff to do with stash and plans. If it looks like this is headed into too long, I might make plans and stash a separate video, but we will see. I hope not, because I need to get this done. Okay, so starting with cross stitch, I have 5 pieces that I worked on. So I worked on 2 of the Cottage of the Months from Country Cottage Needleworks. The first one is August. If I have a before picture, I'll put it in here. And this is what it looks like now. The next one I worked on is May. And I'm going to try to work hard to get this one done in the next month. And that's where I'm at now. So it's getting pretty close. Yeah, it's pretty close. The next one I have to show with you is Gloria from Mill Hill. I am at the beading stage, and I only did 100 beads, but so this is another one that my goal will be, I want to finish this in the next few months so I can give it to my parents when they come back. They're coming back in June. So that should not be a problem to finish, but beading takes forever. My new start from earlier this week is this map of Rohan and Gondor. This is not a full coverage piece. All of this is stitched in one color, and so I have it on this 18 count Ada. That's a brownish tan color, and that is what I've done, almost 1,000 stitches. You can see on the map that I just finished this motif right here. So I'm really enjoying this one. One thing I was thinking is possibly tea coffee dyeing my fabric after I'm done stitching. I don't know, I'm still thinking about it, but I'd like to give it that kind of aged map look. I don't know, I'm still thinking about it. I was too impatient to start this to do that to the fabric beforehand, so we will see. I'm now going to insert a clip of the German Ostsee Baltic Mandala from Chatelaine. I did about 1,200 stitches, so I'll put that in here. So my husband's out of the house and I wanted to take a quick moment to film this little segment about my progress on the German Ostsee Baltic Mandala from Chatelaine. I put in about 1,200 stitches this past month. Getting close. So ignore my really bad nails. I was working on this metallic, so everything out from there, all around the whole project is what I've added. So I'm now working on these gold sections in all of them. Then there's stitches in between there, and then I will be on to specialty stitches and beads for this first part. And I just really love this piece. And it's harder to show it when I take it off the stand and bring it upstairs. Plus I wanted to be able to continue working on it and not mess with the stand. So yeah, I thought I would just film this segment this way. Hoping to put on another 1,000 stitches maybe this month. So okay, and now we're back. So that was my cross stitch whips. Now we will talk about knitting whips and finishes. So as I've talked about before, I am doing a Harry Potter knitting and crochet group on Ravelry. I was sorted into the House of Ravenclaw, and this was not based off of any character traits, so I'm still Slytherin. It's just the houses that had availability, they put you in. So yeah, you can say what you would prefer, but that's not how you're going to get placed. They don't ask any personality type of questions or anything like that. And I've really actually enjoyed my time in Ravenclaw. I was trying so hard to do every class, even though you only really get points for doing 6 out of the 8, and most people don't actually do all 6 or even 8. But, you know, being an overachiever Slytherin, I wanted to do them all. However, when what happened last month, I just was not able to, and so I'm probably also not going to be able to complete my owl project, which I will talk about in a minute. I am still hoping to complete my mission, which I will show you in a minute, but that one's going to be iffy too. So I have to for sure complete one class to secure my sorting for next term. So each term is 3 months. There is a break month in between. So there are 3 terms per year. So next month is the break month, which I'm hoping means I'm going to do a lot of cross stitch, because it's hard to fit cross stitch into these classes since you have to begin and end your project all within the month, and most of the cross stitches I like are a little bigger than that. So yeah, so I'm hoping to do a lot of cross stitch next month. Anyways, so for one class last month, I made this purple baby hat, and this is for a charity I will try to remember to link below, called the Clicks for Babies, and it is this charity where new parents or new to be parents attend like an educational class where they learn about the shaken baby syndrome and how a lot of times it's caused by frustration from babies who keep crying and crying and crying and they don't stop crying, and you get frustrated, so you give them a little shake, and you don't mean to hurt your baby, obviously, you just are kind of at this breaking point. unfortunately, that causes the brain to rattle around in the baby's head, and yeah, it can kill them. And so you go through this workshop seminar. I personally have not been because I've not had a baby, but at the end of it, you learn coping techniques, and that this is just a short period that's only going to last for a couple months. And at the end, you receive a purple baby hat that is knitted or crocheted, and you can put it on your baby's head, and when you see it, you remember that yes, they're crying, and it feels like it will never end, but it will end. And these are things you can do to cope with that. So I like to make them. I like to make these little baby hats. So, yep, I made one. This year, to track the genres of the books I'm reading, I was originally doing a blanket with rows back and forth, but I decided I didn't like that. And so what I was actually going to do was make little granny squares that represent the book genres. I randomly assigned each of the main genres I read a color. This is from Karen Simply Soft. And so for each book, I would crochet a granny square. I read, or mainly listened to, 18 books in the month of January. I only listened to 3 in the month of February because, again, I just was not there. So, here they are. Here are all 18. I cannot tell you off the top of my head the genres. I think this is... Did I put science fiction and fantasy together? I think so. So this is science fiction fantasy, I'm pretty sure. This one is mystery, like cozy mysteries. And the others, I don't remember, to tell you the truth. I have it all in a spreadsheet, but I did not yet do the 3 books from last month. I will try to do all of February and March's together. It doesn't take very long to do this or weave in the ends. I gave all of these to one class in the month of January, and so yeah, I really enjoyed that. I think I have a screenshot of that. If so, I will try to pop that in to show the genres, like in the corner, to show the genres with the colors I assigned to them. My other goal is to try to read at least 1 book from each of the genres. Some of the genres aren't ones that I love, like nonfiction, but it will be good to read a nonfiction book. So, one of those I'm pretty sure is classic. So, yeah. Okay, so the next one I have to share with you, I have 2 of, and these are dishcloths, and they have a little owl motif in them. Can you see? I made 2 of them, and I think they're just so cute. So, those are my little owl dishcloths. I did not make them exactly square, and this happens to me all the time because I don't know why. It just does. I also have this shamrock dishcloth. Can you see the shamrock motif? I am trying to make a like a year of dishcloths where I have one with a motif in it to symbolize each of the months. So this is March's, obviously. I haven't done one for February yet, but I have the pattern picked out. It's like 2 hearts together by the same person who designed this, so it should be around the same size and everything. And then it's like 2 connected hearts. And so I was going to talk about that in the planning section, but whatever, I'll mention it here. So I've got this pink. It's lighter pink than it's showing on the screen, but nice light pink that I thought I would do that for. Yeah. And then the designer who has been designing these, she, for the last few years in November, has put out one for January that's like she puts it out in November, but it's like the next year. So I'm going to wait for that to be released to do the one that will be for January, which will symbolize the new year. So I am pretty excited about that. Let's see. I wove the ends in on this. I didn't make this one. It's a sock saver. I mean, a soap saver. You put your bar of soap in here and you can lather up. These are good to donate to homeless shelters, especially if you include soap with it. So there is that. I made a pair of socks. So this is the same skein of yarn, but look at how different they look. And I have a lot of yarn from this dyer, so I hope that they improved this. I bought like 3 years ago. I hope they improved their technique, because this is showing that the dye is not properly being distributed, that she's not using techniques to help make sure that the sparkles and dye stuff gets all the way through to the different layers. But to be honest, I prefer the one that barely got any of the color. But anyways, I'm really happy with this sock and this design. It's called String of Lights. Super simple. I will definitely be making more of this pattern. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So now I can free my sock blockers and kind of claim those back. This is how much of the leftover yarn I had. So I will be adding them to my memory blanket. And then this is the same dyer who did the Jane Austen one. So I might wind off about 20 grams of it, add it to the Jane Austen to make that blanket bigger, because I'm not going to have enough from the Advent alone. I won't have enough yarn to make it as big as I would prefer, so I'm trying to add in more of her yarns, and that'll be about the same amount, which is 20 grams. So, and then I might make a few like of the Battenberg squares, the small tiny squares that I left over there, so I can't show you what they look like. I can insert a picture. And then maybe save the rest for another kind of scrappy project. So I just wanted to show you how much I had left after knitting this pair of socks. Okay, this one is my mission project. And for the mission, you needed to use a full skein of fingering weight yarn, leaving at most 5 grams, which it's very difficult to plan out a project. Oh, and it can't just be like a simple knit. It has to have some design elements in it. And it is very hard to make something like that and factor it to get to exactly 5 grams or less left over. You start with a 100-gram ball. Mine was actually 115 grams, and that's just because that's how this dyer, she always does 115 grams. So but the yardage is 425, which is about how many yards most fingering weights are. So I am making this shawl called Where Flowers Bloom. And that's what it looks like. I think it's so pretty and lacy, but the pattern is actually so easy. It looks way more complicated than it is. So I have this nice light pink color with some mild speckling, but it's not like in your face on the shawl. So that's really nice. I was worried when I was winding it up that actually it would be more like boom in your face, but it's not. And this is where I'm at. And once I block it, it'll look a lot more lacy and open like the picture. But this is really honestly a super, super simple pattern. The only stitches it has is knit 2 together, knit 3 together, and knit 7 together, and then yarn overs. And that's it. It's actually really super simple and it looks beautiful. And I am crossing my fingers and praying that it will only be 5 grams or less at the end of this. If I have something like 10, I might be able to do another pattern repeat to come in closer, but it is like a, is it a, it's a 12 row pattern repeat. And what's really nice about this pattern is it has it all written out here, how many stitches are in each row. So I went down and I calculated in the percentage of the pattern I will complete at each row. So I really need to get a move on this pattern because the mission ends mid-month. So I'm going to basically need to be monogamous on this until it's done. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this pattern. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, and I'm really happy with it. And I think it'll look great when it's done. It'll be nice to wear with like a black dress going to church or something like that. Or with a white shirt. I need to finish it quick though before the cooler weather goes. This is California. It's going to get hot, hot, hot. We get a lot of triple digits here come summertime, so. So I will put that over here. I worked a tiny bit on some socks for my mom. I finished doing the decreases, which was my main goal. And now I need to do, I think I measured another 4 inches of the pattern before I can do the toe decreases. So that's where I'm at. I love this yarn. I love this pattern. So it's a lot of fun. And so one of my main goals before they come back in June is to finish both of these socks. The next thing I started was another dishcloth. This one, you can't really tell, but it's gonna have a tree as the design in it, a Christmas tree. I think, however, that I grabbed the wrong size needles. Oh man, yes I did. Okay, here is the shamrock, which is how wide this should be. And this one, so this one is about an inch and a half smaller. These are probably going to be a gift, so I'm trying to decide if I care enough to rip it out and change it. I've only done 13 rows. And since they're seasonal, they probably won't be together very much. I don't know. I think I'm going to keep going. I think I'm just going to keep going. Yeah. This is a yarn from Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton, super soft, and I wish that all my dishcloth yarn was this soft. It's actually really soft, and I didn't think it would make for a good dishcloth, but I finished this one and I think it will be a nice dishcloth. So anyways, there is that. Okay, I'm just quickly going down my list to make sure. Shamrock, granny squares, wash. I did like 3 washcloths while I was down in Fresno. I gifted them to my grandfather. I will put in pictures here if I still have them. If I have pictures, so yeah. Shamrock, granny squares, washcloths while in Fresno, sweetheart socks, elf socks, purple baby hat, the tree. Okay, so the last one I have is my owl project, which is the granny stripe blanket. And I had the club, a year of minis, where we got 13 minis for each season, which equaled 52 for the year. And my goal was to put them all in a granny stripe along with the advents. So by the end of February, I was supposed to have done all of the seasonal ones. I am halfway done with fall and I still have winter to do. So this is how much I have left over of fall, is this ball. So that still needs to be added. And then all of winter. I did wind all of my winter minis. And then the other thing I have been doing is I just immediately wound off 4 to 5 grams that I can add to my scrappy projects, my memory blankets. I have come to accept and realize that I made this blanket too wide. However, I am not going to pull it all back to rectify that. This is half of it. So half of this size probably would have been an okay throw blanket size, or maybe even 2/3 if I had just done a third less stitches. But I am not going to go, so this is what would have been like a third less stitches. So this much extra. I'm not going to pull it all back and redo it. That just would be ridiculous. So I'm kind of viewing it more as like this is the length. So it's going to stripe up and down like this. And that will make it about the right size. I wish that it wasn't this way, but it is what it is. So I do have a stitch marker in here to show where I was at the last time I showed you guys this. Let me just get it folded up a little bit more so it's a bit more manageable. Hermione, where are you? You're on the inside. Yep, there she is. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I will stand up. Here is Hermione. And this is where I was at the last time I showed you. So I've done all of this. So, okay, going up from the very top, I think around about here is when it changed to summer. And you got the brighter colors all through here. And this one right here is where fall started. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on the 7th color of fall. So there are 6 more to do. So I am halfway done with fall. All of the winter ones are still in their little packages. I did wind them like that into little cakes and took off the 4 to 5 grams. However, I still need to make it into a big ball. So right now they look like this in my bag. I still have to do that for the Advent minis. And so in order to finish this on time, that's 45 left to do. I need to do at least 2 minis a day, as well as finish the mission and do a class. So it is theoretically possible. It's just not probable. So we will see. I'll do the best I can. But yeah. And aren't these so cute? I'm so tempted to just put this into my glass jar, but then I won't know what I've put into the coziest memory blanket and what I haven't. But maybe the better way to do is just stick it into the jar, because there won't be very much left once I put it into the coziest memory. And so then from there, put it into a different jar when it's just the baby bits. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so that is everything I've worked on. Let's talk about some plans. Okay. I like have plans and stash in the same place. I don't know if I should do stash first. I'll do stash first and then plans. Okay, so I have, from the lady who does the Harry Potter clubs that I do, I got this Valentine's one that she had for a special. Isn't that nice and pretty? I got it on the sparkling base, and this sparkling base is definitely softer than her prior sparkle base. So maybe next year's Harry Potter club I will do on the sparkle base. We will see. But I think this is really pretty and feminine, and it will make a nice pair of socks for a girly girl. Maybe even a scarf, I don't know. So that is that. Then the Harry Potter Club for the month of February, I just got the notification that March's has shipped out today. So this one was called Burning Day, and I couldn't figure it out for a little while until I realized that it's the burning day for Fox, the Phoenix. So that's what it looks like. I probably won't keep the mini with it, and I'll, yeah, probably will separate those two. And then the extra for this month, I also was struggling to figure out what it was. And then I realized, oops, sorry baby, dropped on Gracie, that it's a bookmark. So it's a bookmark with a phoenix on it, which is so cool. So I'm going to go put this in one of my Harry Potter books to just dangle over the edge, and I think that will look so nice. Okay. Next we have the 2 Letters to Jane club that came since the last update. Apparently she's not giving them separate names. They're just all Letters to Jane, which is a little bit confusing, but whatever. This is the first one. I think that's so pretty. So that one is from January. And this is February's. Also really nice. I haven't yet ordered March's. I need to before it sells out, if I'm for sure gonna order it. I don't know why the other day I was just like, maybe I'm not going to order. I don't know. Have you guys ever had Dr. Pepper cream soda and cream soda? I do not like Dr. Pepper. I've never liked Dr. Pepper, but I love cream soda. And so one time we were at a family gathering and they had this and I tried it. It wasn't the zero sugar one. And I loved it. And so when I found this with the zero sugar, I got it. And I just really do love this one. My mouth's a little dry, so I needed to take a drink. Uh-oh. One of my bags is about to push the box over, I think. Okay. So, the last of the yarn stash to share with you is my two Gilmore Girl clubs. So I decided to get these in DK weight because I have no DK weight stash. I thought that this was actually going to be like a sock DK. So like a superwash merino mixed with nylon. There's no nylon in this. Apparently there's a strand you can buy and knit holding it with this and it will act as nylon. So I might buy some of that. Or I might try to make a hat or something else. So this is the first month and it's called Chilton. And I was so excited about this because it came with the little inspiration photo on it. And I thought it was pretty much a good match. The second one came and it has no inspiration photo, and that made me kind of sad. This one is called Lane's Drums, Season 2, Episode 20. I'm not in love with it. I might make something for my husband out of this because he likes red. But I'm not really in love with this one. And the payment already went through for the next payment, for the next club. But I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to continue with this club. So we will see. We'll see what March's looks like. This is the fabric. So this one is the Chilton one. I don't love how strong this is. However, luckily the back is a little bit more tame. So that one is the Chilton one, or yeah. I might end up quitting the fabric club first. I do like this one for the fabric club. This is February's, I mean. Also Lane's Drums. I just wish that it had come with that nice little, this is what the paper looked like for the cross-stitch fabric one. I think that's so nice and pretty, so I wish that that had come with the second one's. And part of my concern with this dyer is that this one also has that streaky. And so I'm just not sure that it's worth. I might rather get fabric from Color and Cotton and rejoin that club when they have opening again. But I do like this. And I'm also not doing a ton of new starts, so I probably don't actually need a fabric club. So, anyways. So a small, like a tiny bit of disappointment with regards to this club, but you know, I find a lot of times I'm disappointed and then like in a couple months, I look at things again and I'm like, oh, I love that. So I think sometimes you just expect more than you should. Like you have a higher expectation than you really should, and it's not fair to the dyers. So this little bag that I have the dishcloth in is actually another acquisition. For Valentine's Day, my husband gave me a Michael's gift card, and one of the things I found there was this this little project bag where you put it through the loop and you can hold it like this. This one is also reversible, so right now I really like the flowers, but it can also be like confetti, like this side. And same thing, you just put it through. And the other really nice thing about this project bag at Michael's, I think this was only $7. It was like $7 or $8. And then I had like a 20% off entire purchase coupon. And so it came out to be a really good price. Project bags on Etsy can be a tad pricey. So if you're looking for a cheap kind of project bag, definitely head over to Michael's. I think that they had 2 other designs at the one I was at. So I would for sure recommend checking them out. The other thing I bought with that gift card is a rotating cutting mat. I've wanted one for quite a while, but they can be quite expensive. But since it was a Valentine's present, I thought that that would be something that would be like a treat, like a present would be, is something that you don't necessarily need but want. And this will make cutting fabric a lot easier. So I'm really excited about that. And the last thing I bought with my gift card was I just bought some TMCs I needed. So yeah, that's what I spent my gift card on. Harry Potter project. Oh yeah, actually no, I did get one other thing there. I saw these knitting needles, and I love my Chow Goos, but sometimes I like to try different things, and I thought that these were interesting. They are circular knitting needles from Prim, and they have let me pull out this one. They're supposed to be ergonomic, and I've been struggling with my carpal tunnel a little bit lately, so gotta be gentle with my hands. This one size is triangle, and then look at that tip. That's a different kind of needle tip, so I thought that would be fun to try. And this cord really has no memory, just like the Chow Goos I use have no memory. So I just got them to try. I had that coupon, like I said, and I just thought that it was a good opportunity to try something new in terms of knitting needles. I haven't actually tried them yet. I just took them out the package to look at them. Okay, I ordered some blocking mats off of Amazon. My husband gave me for Christmas blocking pins, but no mats. And when I didn't get any for Valentine's Day, I finally just ordered them myself because I need to block that shawl. It's part of the class requirement, and I have no other way to block them. So I bought these on Amazon. It comes in this nice canvas bag. It also comes with a case of T-pins. To help with the blocking. And what's nice about these ones is it has, one side has grid lines on it, so you can line it up so that you're getting a straight line while blocking your items. The other side is plain, so you could block it on the plain side too if you wanted. So there are 9 squares in here. You can buy additional squares to be able to make bigger sizes. You can buy it without the bag, which is cheaper, of course. I just wanted to be able to store it all together and keep them safe and protected. I do have little monsters who will chew on anything. So, yeah, I was really excited to get that. I've had it on my wish list for a while now. And the final piece of acquisition to share with you is my husband bought me this large canvas knitting project bag. So my plan is to put some scrappy projects in here. The only reason it's empty right now is because I put all of my knitting projects that I took down to Fresno with me in this. So then I just took the bag and had them all together. And so it's also nice right now for nights when I'm not quite sure what I'm going to work on when we go downstairs to eat dinner, watch TV for a little while. So I can put like 3 or 4 different projects in here and then choose what I want. But the ultimate plan for this is scrappy projects. Just because it's so big and will fit all those little bits and bobs and ends and stuff. So that is the stash acquisitions. Now we'll go on to talk about the plans. We're almost at an hour. Oh boy. Okay. So, stitching plans. Or should I do other plans? Let's do the other plans first. Okay. I am doing this washcloth, dishcloth challenge for 52 in a year. That's about one per week, but I joined it late, so I have to catch up. I need to do about 2 a week to get caught up. But yeah, so that's why you see a lot of washcloths in my plans, and it's also easy projects for that Harry Potter knitting and crochet. So I have several more planned to do this month. Yes, you're a good girl, Rosie. When she hears other dogs bark and she doesn't bark, she gets a cuddle. Which is so now what happens, she hears another dog bark and she immediately comes and runs to me and asks to be picked up. Because she knows she's been good. She knows she's been good. Yes, you're good. Yes, I love you. And so, yeah, that's what happens. So she gets her positive affirmation that she's been a good girl. She gets her attention. And it keeps her from barking at those other neighbor dogs that she wants to bark at. I'm going to have to start to try it with Lily because Lily barks all the time now. So now that we got Rosie to stop, have to work on Lily. Okay, I have to finish and then we can have more cuddles, okay? So this is, we talked about, is the yarn I'm planning on doing the heart dishcloths, and that will work as a February themed dishcloth. I have 2 purples that I am, no. I'm thinking of doing as the April Easter themed one. Unless I pick a light blue kind of color for the Easter one and use a purple one as a flower for like May flowers. But anyway, so these are the 2 ones I'm considering for that. So those are the fancier dishcloths as opposed to just a plain easy one that I can pick any kind of yarn and do. I did not pull out. Okay. The socks for my mom that I showed you guys earlier, I want to finish those by June. I also have a pair of socks I started for my dad that I want to finish by the time they come back as well. let me find those. I have 3 pairs of socks in this bag. Okay. Oh, geez, Louise. Naturally, they're the ones at the bottom. So, here they are for my dad. I will be using this as contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs. But, so yeah, I want to finish that. It's plain vanilla. Not right now, baby. Not right now. I actually need to do one more sock in that green for my sister Kirsten, and it is actually this what came up for WIPGO this month. But yeah, so I need to do that because whatever's left over of this yarn is what I will use for the heels, toes, and cuffs for my dad. Well, I've already done the cuffs, so I need to make sure that I have enough to do heels and toes and not just one or the other. So I need to actually do my sister's sock first. Yeah, my parents will be here till August, so if I don't finish by June, I at least have till August. So, and then this is a pair of socks for my sister Jo. So I have, and for my nephew Hayden. So actually I have 4 pairs of socks in this one bag, and I'm really hoping to whip down to the point where I have only a whip per bag. Okay, so that's socks for mom and dad. Okay, my sister Alex is is moving back to America. And I promised her as her graduation present that I would make her a quilt. However, I haven't seen her in 3 years since I got married, because of COVID and everything like that. So I haven't had to work on it, but now that she's moving back, I need to finish this one by June. This is actually going to be my big main priority. And so this is the pattern that I will be doing for her. It's called nickel bricks. She only wanted 6 different fabrics, I think. And at the time, she had chosen this kind of galaxy type of fabric. So I hope she still likes it, because that was a few years ago that she chose this fabric. But so yeah, so right now I'm in the process of sewing one of those to 2 black strips. So, and then you have to subcut even more and stuff like that. So that's what this one's looking like. So the purple strip, you've got the 2 black strips on either side. So I really need to put in a lot of work on this. How did I fold it before? I guess like this. Okay, so yeah, that's what I need to work on. I had run out of the black fabric, so I had to buy more. So now I need to cut that more. But this project isn't even going to go back in the closet. I'm going to leave it out and in my face, so I work on it. I'm probably also going to pull out the sewing machine and leave it out. I need to finish that shawl I already showed you and talked about. In April, there are no classes, so my plan is to catch up on WIPGO projects. I will talk about that in the next video. And then the other plan, well, I guess, no, there's 2 more plans. I want to start the sweater for my husband. I'm actually probably going to start that in May and try to do it as the owl project, the 3-month-long project. I got my mom to measure both my husband and I because she takes better accurate measurements, so I know what size I need to do for him, how long to make it, and everything like that. So I was originally going to make him this sweater, which is actually a unisex sweater. I know the model right here is a girl, but I've seen pictures of it on boys, and it is unisex. And the reason I was going to do this one is because this is actually a knit along right now where there are videos going up with tutorials to help you make it, and I thought that having a tutorial to follow for my very first sweater would be a good idea. So when I showed him that, he expressed that actually he would prefer a cardigan than a sweater, which is weird because I thought he would want a sweater because he has sweaters in his closet and I haven't seen cardigans. But he wanted a cardigan. So my mom was making this project and she made one for my nephew. If I have a picture of him in it, I'll pop that in. But there's an adult size that she's making for my grandpa. And so my husband even was like, yeah, kind of like that one your mom made for your nephew. And so that's what I'll make him. So it is called Second Breakfast. And the yarn I have is pretty close to that same color. So I'd really like to get this started so that if I have any questions and need help, my mom will be here and be able to show me and help me. So I really would like to get that started because I've never made a sweater before. Okay, so a lady from church found out that I stay at home and stuff like that, and that I am crafty by nature. And so there is a charity that she helps out with that makes sanitary napkins for girls in need, reusable ones. And so she has asked me to help with some of the straight stitching because I told her I don't have a serger because it needs to be serged around the edge. And I don't know how to do that stitch that is like a pretend serge. So she has me doing some straight stitching for her. Part of also why I need to keep my sewing machine out. So she gave me a box full of fabric that's already looks like that. So a design with some felt fabric over here. And it comes and it has 2 white lines on it, and my job is to do a straight line in between the 2 white lines. And so I have a big box of that, and then to cut it into 9-inch segments. So I have a big box of that, and I will be working on doing that. So she said when I'm done just to let her know and she will come and get them. Okay, changing the page here. Okay, so I also have my coziest memories. I think that I need to try to put some squares into. This is what it looks like at this point. So needs more squares. So I'm going to try to put in a few more squares in that, possibly for classes this month. The reason I don't is it takes me a while to do them, but I have to keep reminding myself that the more I work on it, the faster that I will get on making those squares. Right now it's in such a small size that I can just roll it and put it in here. But it's going to outgrow that, and that's one of the things that might go into that canvas bag. For one group, I'm supposed to be working. No, 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 no. Our next door neighbor's dog is barking up a storm. Stop. Supposed to be working on this class schedule. You're being naughty. You're being naughty. Good girl. Good girl, Grace. No, no. Good girl, Lily. I'm sorry. Next door neighbors have 3 dogs, and then behind us has a dog, and 2 yards over has like a pit bull. We're surrounded by dogs, and they all get barking at each other sometimes. Anyways, so class schedule. I need to work on this. I really want to finish this like ASAP. I don't know why they're continuing to bark like that. I don't think our dogs are outside. I think they're inside. Okay, I also need to put in some work on Quaker stitches. I have a few song challenges that I need to fit this into. So here's where I'm at. If you're coming up here, I'm filming. That's where I'm at. So I need to do some more. And then I have Lantern Lane. And this is another one I really need to finish, but I think I need to order some more thread. That's where I'm at. I started the temperature walk with me, but never entered any of the dates. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe this year I just do the outline and the little creatures and everything, and then starting next year do the paw prints. I don't know. I'll think about that some more, but I need to work on this. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So apparently the next door neighbors, 2 weenie dogs, they have 2 weenie dogs and 1 big dog, had gotten into our yard and gone up to the sliding glass door, which is what the commotion was and why it was so much louder and longer than normal. But anyways, so I'm back to just finish this up really quick. About a month ago, I just suddenly wanted to plan all these new starts. I haven't been feeling a ton like new starts lately. And then I just got in this like, well, one of my friends was like saying I had over 200 whips. And I was like, I only have 180. Well, it turns out I had closer to 190 something. And so just decided I might as well get to 200. So I have starts planned to get to 200 and then to work on going down again. But might as well pass over to 200 and then come back down. So I'm going to show you my planned new starts. With everything going on in Ukraine, there have been a couple of designs put out. Long Dog Stitchers put out this freebie design. I will put a picture in here that you can find on her website. And so I pulled the colors I need for that and a plain piece of ice blue, light blue fabric. And I plan on starting that imminently. I found this other pattern for Ukraine, and that's what it is here. This stems from a clip where an old Ukrainian lady went up to a Russian soldier and was asking them what they were doing here and you're invaders and all of that. And then she tells him to put these sunflower seeds into his pocket so that they will grow where he dies or something. Like, it's kind of a little morbid, but at the same time, you're like, wow, little old lady standing up for your country. So yeah, so it turned into this design, and I really like the design, and so I bought it, and the proceeds from this design go to aid in Ukraine. So I will include the link down below if you want to buy it. It comes in a long format, which is what I'm going to do, or a format this way. I have not pulled threads for it yet, but I do plan on starting that one. And then, so those are my 2 Ukraine starts. I have been watching a ton of news lately, so I'm just praying for the people in Ukraine, and I wish that there was more that I could do. The others have nothing to do with any of that. So, I have them all in this bag, and, oh, that's one of the colors for the Ukraine project. I don't know if this is actually called Ukrainian blue, but the designer had it labeled as Ukrainian blue, so. No! So, let's just pull things out and see. Okay, I've had this one for over a year, like a year and a half now. And that is Jardin Privé, ABCs of Cross Stitch. I was just basically waiting to cut up this piece of fabric I had that was 39 inches by 60 inches. And I'm planning on using it for another project we'll talk about in a minute. But I needed a strip of that for this project because I am planning on doing a all one strip. So I'm really excited to start this one. I've seen it stitched. It's so cute. I love it. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. Oh, just to talk about the rest of that fabric. I wanted to do the Nora Corbett Christmas couriers on that. So this is the Santa sleigh, and I had a bigger piece of fabric cut out for that from that. It's like an ice blue 28 count even weave, and then I have cut out for the 9 reindeer. However, I only have 2 reindeer, so I still have to get 7 more. But I figure that's enough to get me started. And I have all the fabric, so it'll all be on the same kind of fabric. And I don't have to worry about that. Only the sleigh is the one, though, on my list for new starts. I have the other portion of the map that is the Shire. It is the Shire, right? Yeah, oh, there's the Shire. So, eventually I will start that. My friend Moray is stitching this as well, and she is stitching it in 3371. And this pattern calls for it to be stitched in DMC 310. The other one calls for, like 3787 or something like that. But the 3371 is a black brown, and it looks so much better than that, so I'll be stitching both of those in that color. And I am planning on buying a cone of it off Amazon. It's like $23, which is cheaper than buying a ton of skeins. So there is that. I also pulled out the Kingdom of Books. I ordered this quite a while ago, like a couple years ago, and just haven't started it. And I think I am going to stitch it on 28 count Aida. It does come with fabric, but I don't think that they left very much room for margins. And so I was a little bit worried about that. And then I just prefer how soft even weave is over Aida, so. I have this snow globe. I actually think I have 8 of them. This one is of the burrow. And they're actually pretty small. I can fit 4 of them on this piece of fabric. So I'm just going to do one at a time, but 4 on this fabric. And then at the end I'll cut them and decide how to finish them. And then I can easily get another one of these Monaco. This is Monaco 28 count white. This is one I am going to start tonight, and that is Evening in the Shire. I have been looking at this one for a long time. I've actually had it in my stash for a long time. And I'm not 100% satisfied with my fabric choice, but I have yet to find a fabric I'm 100% satisfied with, so I'm gonna go with this. It's a bluish gray, and I think it will actually look nice on this. So I think that sometimes we just put off starting ones we really want to do so long because we're trying to find something perfect, and that could stop us from ever doing what we really want to do, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to go ahead and start it. My friend Wendy started it, and I said when she started it, I would start it, and she started hers today. So yeah, I'm pulling that out to start. Next we have one I bought and printed out like 6 months ago and told everyone on my group to start with me, and then I didn't start it. That might have been in August. And this is a Lord of the Rings book one. So I have plain white fabric pulled out. I put it in a bag to start and everything, and then I just never did. So I'm looking forward to starting this one. Visit Hogsmeade. This is just black and white, but it's really pretty. And I really like doing these country magic stitch pieces. Oh, okay. One of my patterns got stuck behind another one. I've had this one for quite a while as well. And this is Harry Potter Under the Stairs. And I never started it because honestly I forgot about it. And then I saw it the other day and I was like, oh, I want to start it. I should buy it. And then I had it in my stash and didn't need to buy it. And so I just pulled out some 28 count ivory fabric. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing this one. It's not a lot of stitching and a ton of back stitch, but that's fine. And the final one is this Hogwarts map. that looks like that. I just have some plain 18 count fabric that I will be doing it on, and this one is full coverage, and I am just waiting for my friend Wendy to be ready to start hers so we can start them together. So yeah, those are all my planned new starts. This month I am also doing Semi-Sane's Letters of Fortune game, so that's why I have been stitching a little bit more, and I've been in a stitching mood. I lost my stitchy bug for a while, so I was doing a lot of knitting, but it's coming back and I am wanting to stitch more, so I'm hoping to really utilize that and do more stitching. And that's about all the update I have. I'm going to put this away. Well, actually, I'm probably going to start editing and put away while I'm editing, because there's a lot that doesn't need any kind of editing to it, so I just have it playing while I put stuff away. And then I will get this uploaded, and then I will film a Whip Go one. So I'm going to try to add links. I know I say that all the time, but I really am going to try to. And I hope to come back with an update a lot sooner than this. Hopefully before the puppies come. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye. It's playtime. Yes. You were just trying to play, and I was just showing everyone how you guys were playing. Rose pose. Rose pose. Hi, baby. George. Gracie. Gracie. Sammy Man. Oh, it's a little Sam Man. Hi, baby. Hi. You want to say hi to everybody? I don't even know if I'm going to send this to anybody. I was trying to show how wild you guys were being, and then you stopped being wild. Jamie, don't be jealous. Yeah, just my precious Sammy Man.